Hello, everyone. We are doing series 2, day 2 of the 2-day masterclass series of Build Your 100K Audience and Know Your Worth. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know because I just went live, there's going to be a few people that kind of gradually join us here, and people are going to catch the replay. I totally get that. I totally understand that. So one of the things that I want to do, if you don't mind, is kind of just do a summary of yesterday, because yesterday was so important. And we talked about messaging that matters, right? Messaging that matters, kind of like the message that's going on in your mind, right? And we had a lot of people go through their self-discovery, self-coaching of yourself, of the thought that's stopping you from making not just 100K, but $1 million. Maybe it's 10K. Hey, Patty, how are you? Is my sound okay? Just enter 1 below for yes, if you can hear me okay for the sound, because we can give maybe a few minutes for people to kind of join us. I'm a little hot potato today because my nephew just sent me the most beautiful, just FYI, the most beautiful. And hey, Susanna, how are you? Awesome that you can hear me okay. So did everyone, just to confirm that you did your success action step from yesterday, and as we're waiting for a few people to join us, hey, George, could you just let me know if you really kind of thought more about yesterday? You all ranked the training a 10 out of 10 yesterday. So from my heart to your heart, can I do a right heart symbol? There we go. Anyway, that's kind of a heart. I love you. Thank you for that. But I want to know if you kind of spent some time after the training to kind of really go through some self-coaching of yourself. You know, what is the thought that's holding you back? And it's kind of like you're catching $2 million thoughts. The thought that's holding you back, and then how do you rewire your subconscious programming to then have a thought that's bringing you a heck of a lot more, can I say it? Money. We're all going to talk about money. And I'm just trying to look for something here. Yes, here it is. And I'll wait for your comments as I just share something else. Hey, Sally. And by the way, Sally's in beautiful Maine. She's taken a beautiful weekend with family in Maine. So she's going to have another lobster story to tell you, because actually just enter the word lobster, everyone, if you could, if you want Sally to share her lobster story later on in the group here. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to, I want to share the screen a little bit with kind of what we covered yesterday. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome when you see it. So you're going to see something weird maybe happening on your screen when I do that, just because of the way StreamYard works. And so I'm just going to go present and share screen, share a Chrome tab. I'm kind of getting it here, the Chrome tab. And that's the Chrome tab I want to share. Let's make it bigger. And come back to StreamYard. And actually, I'm going to put StreamYard on my other. I have 2 screens, actually, sometimes one over here, one over here, one over here, sort of like a third thing here too. But everyone can see that now, right? So I'm just going to show that here in big so you can really see it. Just type in 1 if you can see it. That would be great. And I know this is from yesterday, so don't go, Maria, you're teaching us yesterday. Don't worry about that. But I wanted to share with you, this is the 100K Audience Masterclass. This is part 2, how to attract qualified leads that are ready to invest and grow with you. As picture myself there. And yesterday we talked about messaging that matters. We found your $1 million thought and kind of then turned it around to your intentional thoughts. That's the homework from yesterday. And then today, when I want to talk about, I had you sort of fill out the 4 steps. But while I have this up, you're probably going, what are you talking about, Maria? I don't see, it's blank, right? So can someone fill out for me what step 2 was? It starts with an A because it's the MAPS methodology. If you could type in the comment, please, what the A stands for. And I see enough lobsters in there from Sandy and Patty and others about that. What do you think the A stands for? I'm still giving you some time to fill out the A. audience, action. Oh, that's a good one too, Sandy. Action. It is audience. You are right. So as we talk about audience, and now I'll come back to me here. I just had to turn on my fan as well. I have sometimes get hot flashes. I'm just gonna say. So basically, uh, let's come back to me now. Okay. So as you can see, my face probably just went a little red. And so I had to turn my Dyson fan on. And even though it's fall and it's cold outside, sometimes I've turned one of the upstairs bedrooms into my office, and it still sometimes gets too hot up here. So I had to go plug in the fan, the Dyson fan. If you guys don't have a Dyson fan, it's the best thing invented in the world. I love it. All right. So today we're talking about audience, and I want to talk about something first. In the MAPS methodology, there's 4 steps, right? And this is to help you get to your 100K audience. Yesterday, we talked a lot about the messaging that matters in your brain and also your magnetic offer. We covered that a bit. I'm here to answer your questions. Use the time with me if you have any questions about your own offer or what you're doing to get to 100K and higher. But basically, when we talk about the audience, I have this bread and butter audience. I'm going to quickly tell you about Alchemia story. I talked about it a bit yesterday, but it's really important to hone in that sometimes you don't get it right the first time. Like in the video in this group where I showed you the 100K audience calculator, I kind of drew a diagram, a triangle, and on the left hand side was launch ugly. On the top of the triangle was get it going, get it right, and on the right hand side of the triangle, the third point was make a snowball of sales. And what I mean by that is when you launch ugly and when you get it going, get it right, oftentimes when we do a virtual event or we start, and this could be also when you just start doing videos on TikTok or YouTube or whatever you're using for your traffic tactic. And I'm also going to show you how to get traffic with 0 ad costs. Sometimes maybe the audience isn't quite right. So with Alchemia, the story that happened with her is that we changed her challenge to being called the chakra manifestation challenge, because originally she wanted to do a challenge and a course on how to go 100% vegan, and because that was her jam, right? And talking with her, I'm like, well, I like that audience. I agree with you that going vegan, and look at you, you're glowing with energy, helps with energy, but I don't feel that's $1 million funnel for you, Alchemia. And you're coming to me to tell you the direct truth, right? Like if you're going to put a lot of work into building up your audience and your business, I assume you're coming to me to make 100K and then $1 million, right? And some people are happy with just 100K, and that's fine. And she's like, yeah, okay, well, I really feel unless you have a huge amount of capital, like I'm talking like 20 grand or something, to invest in some kind of vegan typed physical product, and ads and stuff to start selling some nutritional vegan product or something to go with your education. I feel, unless you're going to be like Smoothie Girl and have a lot of capital to invest originally. And I'm going to keep saying that because different business models work. It just depends on where you're starting from, right? How much working capital, cash capital as well you have to play with. And I said, I really don't feel you could create $1 million funnel with just a pure 100% vegan audience or turning people to 100% vegan. So what we decided then is I kind of said, okay, and again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to keep showing this because in the brain, there's something psychological that happens to help you remember this like 100 times more is when I have it in writing. So bread and butter audience, Alchemia story. And I need you to make this a foundation for yourself about your own audience. Okay. So that you have a bread and butter audience. So I said to Alchemia, like, okay, what else do you like? And it turns out as I talked to her in the first kind of coaching call, loves the yoga. She knows all about chakras, and she meditates and all this stuff. And so I'm like, oh my God, I got it. We need to turn this around and kind of be more around manifestation chakras, but using high energy vibe foods. So the micro offer, I planned out with her and I said, go buy this domain right now, manifestationmap.com, how to manifest, because that's hot, right? Bread and butter audience. You want to also go with something that's trending and hot and people have money and will pay you. Okay. And so here we created this like small $27 micro offer so she can get sales every day, by the way, because I'm all about in the MAPS methodology, the fourth step S is scale. And that's when you automate and leverage, you know, something that makes you sales every day while you're out with family or you're sleeping. Okay. And so for her, okay, got it. Go buy manifestationmap.com and we're gonna like a little vitamin that goes into the meal. We're gonna have the headline saying, learn how to up. I forget exactly the headline that came up with her, but it was like learn how to up your energy, really, really strong, and how you will basically. I'm just gonna come back here for a second. How you will uh, increase your energy to even have a higher chance of manifestation with these 11 high vibe VIBE foods. That's what worked like a charmer. It worked super, super well. So when we did that, just FYI, what really helped and worked out is that then um, we said, let's do a chakra manifestation challenge as well and start grabbing a broader audience, and the vegan stuff and the high vibe foods is like a vitamin that goes in. And the reason why I should pay attention to the importance of thinking about who your audience is and is it a bread and butter audience is then guess what happened? She now is making $50,000 months. Okay. And the first challenge that she did, it like she fully didn't know exactly what offer she was going to make. Like, are you sometimes in that situation? Just and I'll watch the comments here. Just say yes or no if you're in that same situation. That hey, yeah, Maria, I actually uh yeah, I actually maybe didn't quite um uh know what my offer was. So I needed actually to do a challenge or masterclass series like this to start talking to people and seeing what they want. So Alchemia then, and I coach her all on this. I said, okay, instead of making a whole sales page and all that stuff and sending people sales page and to buy something, why don't you get them to book a call with you? That's your only call to action on this particular challenge. Book a call with you. And then after booking a call, then you talk with them and then sell them into some beta program, which was like 500. So after the first month, like within 30 days, like she didn't do too well at the first challenge, but she talked to enough people to know what their pain was. And everyone's saying yes, what their pain was. And kind of she got better and better than at what her core flagship offer should be. Right. So then the second time she did a challenge, like literally a week or 2 weeks later, then she made money, like thousands of dollars, right? With only like $2,000 of ad spend, like she made back like 4x, her investment. Now she's making 45, 50K plus months continuously. And she's repeating the exact same challenge or masterclass series since like 2 years ago. Maybe it was a year and a half ago. We started together. So the tough part is that beginning part where you're trying to find, I'm going to hold it up again, your bread and butter audience. And then matching what you obviously want to teach and what you're expert at that is profitable, that magnetic offer to that audience. So now she's locked in. I'm going to repeat that again. She's locked in her bread and butter audience. Okay. And she can scale, right? She's got the manifestation map that brings in sales every day, also brings in more sales when she has a masterclass series like just like you're on right now. And then she then has slowly increased, like all my clients do, the core flagship product, price point. So now it's more than 500, right? But is that helpful? Like I'm trying to bring in stories to you more often now to kind of hone in on the teachings, because I think through stories you'll remember more. Like a week later, you might not remember everything I taught today, but you very well would remember, oh yeah, got it, Alchemia story. Or yesterday you'll remember, got it, Maria paid 30,000 to Marshall. Why did she pay $30,000 to spend 1 hour with one guy? Got it, because he was the number one expert in subconscious reprogramming of the mind in the world. Got it. How did Maria make her first 100K launch? Like within, like, I think it was like 3 months after that 1 hour with Marshall. Got it. my intentional thought. I have to be more aware of my thoughts that are going in my brain, and then create an intentional thought. Got it. Everyone says yes, yes, yes. Karina, same thing. I tell Karina's story because she changed her intentional thought. Instead of like, oh, I want to make $10,000 from this challenge, I want to make 10,000 this month. She changed her intentional thought to, I can help her make money. That caused her to feel like amazing, and caused her, when she's feeling amazing, to show up strong and to not be as attached to the outcome, because she's showing up also feeling confident, because she knows she can help her make money. And then guess what happens at an energetic sales level, which is a little bit also the P part of the MAPS methodology, the third of the four steps, your presentation, right? Is that she had the energetic match to attract people and buy from her, right? And this is probably why you're here, whether you watch the replay or you're live right now, watching this right now, right? And do me a favor, can you enter live if you're on this live? I say this is glorious, people view live. And Sandy says, yes, that's helpful. Just enter live if you're live, and enter replay if you're later on watching the replay, because we do pay attention to that, because then we know what times are better to go live and stuff when we do these kind of things. So yeah, awesome. Live. Thank you, all you beautiful people saying live. I love it. I like the blue colors that I branded this to as well. Okay, awesome. So audience, you need to build your audience. So there's two ways. I promised you, before we get into sales choreography, which I hinted at a little bit with your energy as well, I want to talk about, because I want to keep this training, like, I don't need to be here 2 hours to impart this on you, but I'd like to get this done within an hour, and also leave time for questions as well. So one of the things that I want to talk about when it comes to your audience is that there's 3 ways to build your audience. Okay. The first way is paid traffic. Second way is organic, like whether you leverage people to help you with organic or you do it yourself. And then the third way is leverage, the 8th wonder of the world. I talk about leverage a lot. Leverage is what makes you your 100K, your million, your billion. Okay. And so leverage, the 8th wonder of the world. What I love about that is when I first kind of fix the stuff going on in my head, when Marshall helped me with the subconscious programming, I then was able to, are you ready for this? Go after people that had my audience, or people who maybe would want to buy my products, and approach them to get them to promote my offer to their people. Okay. Now, this is called affiliate marketing. You've probably heard of that, right? Just enter 1 if you've heard of that, right? I'll wait for you guys to enter 1 while I'm drinking my green tea here. And by the way, I'll show this side. Zen. I love this cup. It says Zen. But since I'm right-handed, I like to drink it this way. That says Blake. All right. So you enter 1. Awesome. So here's what's interesting. Okay. So now you've heard of affiliate marketing. Now I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be truthful, and I want you to enter 0 if the answer is 0. In the last 3 months, how many people have you contacted that has an audience that could buy from you, and ask them to promote you? Just enter 0 if it's 0, enter 1 if it's 1, enter 2, enter. I really want you to, hey, Ramonda says live and alive. Awesome. I really want you to tell me that, 0. Susanna says 0. And I'm gonna wait a little bit, because I want you to really think about this. Because if you go off and buy all these other products, and I call it the shiny object syndrome and all that stuff. We talked about that yesterday, that maybe you're buffering, because maybe you're feeling either shame or imposter syndrome about who am I to teach this, right? Or become a coach, or to create this course. And then instead you just keep buying other people's products, right? Which, by the way, I have a whole philosophy on that, which is, I really feel that's why I'm coming out with the 100K audience mastermind, because it's not just a course, it's implementation program with you. It's your next best thing to hiring. Instead of paying me $25,000 to do it all for you, this is the next best thing without the $25,000 price point. Because I really feel that's missing in the course marketplace here, or the coaching marketplace, is actual mindset with strategy with implementation. It's like a 3 kind of important foundations to help you be successful. So I see 002. Patty's contacted two people. Patty, congratulations. That's awesome. And Patty, you've done that maybe because you watched the last masterclass with me, maybe, right? Has that been since we've been on a one-on-one call? Awesome, right? And if it's without my pushing you, that's awesome too. But the point is, y'all, like instead of going, I'm freaking out, I don't want to spend $2,000 in ads or $10,000 in ads, and oh, I don't know, or gosh, Maria, I don't even have the credit card with that limit to do it. Then what might happen is you then just hide, right? Because if no one ever sees your offer, then you're never going to expand and impact people's lives and make a profit. Does that make sense? Yeah, Sally's saying, you go, Patty. Patty says, thanks. Yes. And Patty says, yes, contacting two people has been since our call. I love what Sally says. You go, Patty. Says, so listen, how much does it cost you to contact, say 3 people by Monday to see if they'd promote you? 0, right? Costs you 0. Okay. Now, there's a way to approach them that is better than other ways. And I'm going to give you, do you want me to give it to you now? Enter yes. If you want me just to give you a quick tip now, like, of course, I have like a little bit more of fortune is the follow up aspect. But when we use this for a huge advertising agency, and I was a chief strategy officer for them, and we had it really dialed in. We had a Google sheet, we had it really systemized about how to follow up with people to buy actually a $15,000 product service from that agency. And that kind of structure framework, I'm like, oh my God, this is actually how I used to get joint venture partners to promote me. But there's a twist that I do. So I'm going to tell you what that is. So everyone's saying yes. Okay. So here it is. Why wouldn't you? I want you to pay attention to this because most people are too scared to do this, but trust me, it works. Okay. If I had to go out and invest $10,000 in ads next month, right? Yeah, I know I'd make my money back and stuff because I know I can, and I'm building my list, right? I'm building an asset. But at the same time, I'm forking over to the Facebook gods or YouTube gods 10 grand, right? And instead, what if I decided to give away 100% of my front end sales to my joint venture partners so they make money right away? And on the back end, say I sell $1,000 course as an example, because some of you may have $1,000 course, or maybe you have a $5,000 higher ticket thing, or even higher. But think about it. If I were to so I kind of told you the strategy, but here's what you could truly say. Whether it be someone you already bought a course from already, or you have some kind of relationship with, or maybe you're following on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, and you're in their Facebook group and you're commenting on things. What you could do is you could, and obviously your offer should not compete with, that's the key here. You're not going to say, I've got someone who's already in the 100K audience program that's going to, I'm helping them kind of like a joint venture partnership, launch something around podcasting. And it's like, I'm not going to go up to someone who already has a course about how to podcast and say, hey, how would you like to promote my, podcast challenge? And I'm going to charge, $27 for it. I'm going to give you 100% of the commissions and 10% of the back end. Like, say we sell a 5,000, I'll set your podcast up for you service. I'll give you $500 for every $5,000 client. So it's a win-win because, you're going to get some cash up front and cash on the back end. But it's not a win-win if the person already sells a podcast course. Like, why would I do that, right? Think about Coca-Cola and Pepsi, right? Coca-Cola is not going to go to Pepsi and say, hey, you have customers that like to drink pop. How would you like to, or soda, depending what country you live in and what you call it. How would you like to promote my Coca-Cola to your Pepsi customers? Pepsi's going to say, screw off. Like, who are you? What? No, but guess what? Either Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Pepsi could go to McDonald's. Who has my customers? Fast food companies. What goes really well with a burger or French fries, a Coke or a Pepsi? So those companies should contact the fast food companies, which obviously they have, right? So that's what I want you to think about. Pretend like you have, whether it's Coke or Pepsi, and pardon the analogy if you're not a pop drinker or whatever. I rarely drink it. Maybe like once every 3 months, I might have a Diet Coke or something. But seriously, who's got your burgers? Who's selling burgers and French fries? That analogy that you can come in and offer Coke. Okay. Does that make sense? Like, think about it. Huge, right? So for instance, people who teach others how to blog, right? That would be a perfect audience for me and Sally to go after, right? Because I'm not competing. They're teaching people how to set up a blog and some passive income from that and all that kind of jazz. But they're not teaching them really how to all of a sudden create some kind of offer that's somewhat passive once you create it, right? It's an asset, and then do a challenge and create an audience to then sell it something to, right? Um, and that's important, right? And there's so many other people that we can contact, but I'm not going to go contact someone who also teaches how to do a challenge, right? That doesn't make sense, or how to do a virtual event. That wouldn't make any sense at all, right? Can everyone, was that a mic drop? Like, just put MD in the chat. If that was a mic drop, it seems obvious, but as far as I'm aware, there's like barely anyone teaching this aspect. They go tell you to contact all these Facebook groups that has your audience or this, that, but they don't follow it up with saying, offer them 100% commission on the front end. Because that's exactly what I did. Okay. I'm not going to show you my screenshots and stuff, but in the future, I'm more than happy to, if you want to see it. But that's how I blew up my business, like over 25,000 customers, because people even like Jason Flanlin, Peter Garrity, Mario Brown, like some major players were promoting my challenges, and I would charge $17 for the challenge or $5 for the challenge, and they would get 100% of the commissions up front. So yeah, when I did that first 100K launch, freaking amazing to see $100,000 made. It was in 26 hours on a $17 information product, digital product, in the form of a challenge that I charge. But I was so sad in one way to like, oh, the money went out to all the other affiliates, but I had built my list up huge, right? And then when I offered them a thing for $500 and a course for $1,000, that's then when I made my money, right? So yeah, I shelled out the 100,000, but I had a list now and an audience that loved me, right? And the conversions were high, especially when you get referred by other people. Conversions are always going to be higher than cold traffic. So huge, right? And Sandy says, so good to remember. Yeah. So the steps are, and this is your homework. And I'm going to just pause for a little bit and have you do that, because I really want you to do it. I want you right now to think about 3. I'll just choose 3. I'm not going to make it hard for you. I'm not going to say 10. I'm not going to say 100, like your dream 100, which we do in the 100K audience mastermind, but just pick 3, because I want you to have momentum with today's training, right? Nothing would warm my heart more than you actually all go out and contact 3 different potential JV partners by Monday and come back to me and say, oh my God, Maria, I got this person that said they're going to promote me, right? That's exactly what I do with some of my clients. I encouraged her. I was testing this out like 2 months ago. And I said to Linda, and she's a relationship management coach, and she teaches people how to improve their marriage and have a marriage that lasts forever. She actually went and contacted 3 people that actually had podcasts that had her audience, and 2 of them said yes. Huge, right? Woohoo. Now you got to follow up with them too, and keep, like, when someone says yes, especially in this arena, we all have short-term memories, including people who are busy. And what ends up happening is that sometimes what happens is they forget. They said yes. So you got to make sure you follow up, or you can do some things like I did with that advertising company. I told them to do is you send them like something that only costs you about $3 to send in the mail. Maybe it's a little bit more, maybe $10, but you're using the Robert Cialdini's The Law of Persuasion and the law of reciprocity, where when you give something to someone, it's the law of reciprocity. Like, oh, they got a gift and they really appreciate you. And then now when you ask them for a favor, they're more likely to say yes. Okay. So yeah. But Sandy, you can make a low end offer. Like, I'm teaching you all, especially in the 100K audience mastermind, to do a challenge or a virtual event. It doesn't have to be for free. You can charge $5 for it. You can charge $10 for it. All right. And Sandy, we can figure that out. If you want to hop on a call with me and we'll figure it out on this here too, but I'm sure that, trust me, I know we can make it work for you. Okay. But let's so thank you, Sally, for saying what the homework is. Sally rocks. Thank you so much, Sally. Contact 3 possible JV partners this week and have them promote your business. So some of you are blocked, and that's just in your mind. But what if you did have a low end product, Sandy? Is what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to coach you for a little minute, but I'm doing this because I think everyone who's watching this will benefit from it. If a lot of you are saying, "Well, I don't have anything," but what if you did? What if you did? Okay. What if you did decide to do like a 3-day or a 5-day challenge? I'm testing out a 2-day with this right now, mainly just because of my scheduling. My sister's visiting from Edmonton. I'm spending lots of time with family the next 10 days, right? But and it's Thanksgiving. On Monday, it's the Canadian Thanksgiving. Some of you didn't know that. Haha. But on Monday, it's Canadian Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, we're all having turkey. Yeah, Ramonda says, Ramonda, and that's true. The biggest challenge is creating a magical front end and back end offer. That is. But that's what I'm here to help you with. Like here on this call, I can help you with. You can just type in your questions, but also obviously when you work more one-on-one with me intimately and me and Sally, like that is what we rock at. There, I have 100%. I'm gonna repeat that: a 100% batting average with everyone who's worked one-on-one with me. Now, I recognize if you don't have that $25,000 price point to invest with me, and some of you do, and if you do, then let's talk about that as well, because we can also work out kind of an investment plan where you invest, certain chunks of that for 25K as we progress, pay as you profit model. But in the 100K audience mastermind, because I'm joint venturing with you and I'm going to take a cut of your sales, me and Sally will take a cut of your sales down the road within a 4-month period, then it's a no-brainer as well. And that's the solution I really feel is kind of what's needed in this marketplace. So it's sort of like a pay for performance, right? I do require some skin in the game and some down payment from you, investment initially, but basically that's how strong I know this will work, whether it be the magical front end we need to work on or your magical back end to work on. Okay. And thank you, Sally. Sally's saying reminder, you can find the replays and workbook in the guides tab. So let's just take, for example, like when I was doing this and approaching all these people to promote me, I had no clue 3 months prior what challenge I was going to run 3 months later. I also looked at what's trending, just like I did with Alchemia. What's trending? Forget about teaching people how to become vegan, because that's not going to make your 50K a month business. But guess what's hot right now? Chakras, manifestation, yoga, and combine it with the energetic stuff that you teach. Oh my God, hot, right? Anything to do with TikTok, or you attach yourself to a platform, Facebook, YouTube, that's hot too, right? Still hot. Even though people think Facebook ads are dead, they're kind of not. They still work. But what happens here is that people just give up too early. I'm just going to tell you that. So we talked about finding your audience. We talked about a wonderful way to leverage other people's audiences. And I'm not talking about just Facebook groups. Everyone's teaching just go to Facebook group owners, which is a way, but I'm talking more than that. Go and look at who's the burger to your Coca-Cola and go contact them. And maybe they're bloggers. Maybe they got a podcast going. Maybe they're influencer and just have a big audience. They don't know how to monetize it. I get that all the time. Truly. I remember one time, believe it or not, a female MMA fighter contacted me through a referral. She's a huge audience. And she's like, Maria, how do I monetize my audience? There's a lot of people out there with like millions or hundreds of thousands of followers on their social platforms and have no clue how to monetize. Can you imagine if you come in and offer them 100% commissions on, say, something like that's a kind of like a fast impulse decision purchase, anything typically under $99 is that, but especially if it's $5 or $17, they would gladly say yes to that. Think about that. Like even just like if 1,000 people in their $1 million audience buy your thing, all of a sudden and say you're charging like say $20, that's 20 grand to them. They're going to like, can we do more of these? Oh my God, I really like this. I didn't have to work for this at all. You did all the work. Okay. So I'll share with you whatever you need right now on this call. Ask me a question, how to land those deals, but they're out there. They really are. So that's key. You appeal to them by appealing to their wallets. Okay. because at the end of the day, that's going to be huge. Condi, she's one of our, she was in our social sales accelerator. She's joining the 100K mastermind as well. I don't know, Condi, are you on live today? I told her to do the strategy about a week ago when she was on a call about the 100K audience mastermind. And I'm like, go out and just contact people. She contacted those 3 people and she got one that said yes. And because that person's got a big list, she actually has kind of already knows her promotion calendar. So she said, I can book you in 4 months from now. So in January, which is the hottest month actually to do a challenge or a virtual event, she's gonna have a big person with a big audience promoting her. Huge, right? So yeah, I'll say Connie's not on there. Okay. And Sandy says, yes, tell us more about helping those people with the big audiences. Yeah. So yeah, the people with the big audiences, and by the way, it could even be a small audience. That's when I say I'm helping you build your 100K audience, I don't mean 100,000 people in the audience. I mean an audience that you can extract a cash infusion of $100,000 from, right? And that audience could be as little as 50 people, believe it or not, right? It doesn't have to be huge. I know a friend of mine that had like 60 people in his virtual event that he had, and he used free traffic. He closed $250,000 worth of sales, $250,000 of sales with like about 60 people. Okay. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute, ask any questions, but I really want you right now to just identify 3. Like, even if you don't have a little offer right now, just can you just imagine with me? Like, I had this pen is like a magic wand. I still got to go to a store and buy a magic wand, by the way. So imagine this pen is like a magic wand, bippity boppity boo. You have your little offer. Okay. Bippity boppity boo, you have your little offer. Just imagine with me. All right. So I assume you know what area expertise you want to teach on, right? Like in Sandy's case, you said you're going to help build someone a funnel, right? What God, your audience are probably bloggers too, Sandy, because you could actually contact a whole bunch of bloggers and just say, hey, look, I can help your people build a real true lead magnet sales funnel, right? I'm going to have this challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. Build your funnel up in 5 days or less. Plan, create, plan, launch, create. My magical marketing mind is a little quiet today. Plan it, build it. Plan, build, launch. Plan, build, launch your email list machine. There you go, Sandy. If you're looking for something, don't spend 10 more seconds thinking about it, because you never know until you try it and send it out there whether it'll work or not, because that's the other thing. You can't be scared of it flopping, because if it flops, then you just reevaluate what worked well, what didn't work well, what will I do differently next time. And then you contact, I would say 10 different bloggers. Hey, hosting this challenge, plan, build, and launch your evergreen list machine, and I'll give you 100% of the front end products. We're going to charge $25 for it. So for $5 a day, less than a cappuccino a day. By the way, this is being recorded as well, so you can actually come back and watch this replay, Sandy. And I can help anyone else who asks questions too. George says, you got me all turned around. Really had not been thinking about an offer. I've been totally focused on committing to getting traction with my marketing agency, but now you really got me thinking. I love what George said. Now you really got me thinking about putting together a product I've been heavily involved with doing all my energy work with chakras. Oh my God, totally. George, hello. If you don't join the 100K mastermind with me, I'm going to smack you virtually. Seriously, that's huge, right? And by the way, I think there's always a dual world that we have, that you have to have an agency or one-on-one consulting that you do, or some kind of service-based thing, with also the offer you create. That's more your passive path, right? Like one of my best friends who used to be a business partner with me, love her to death, Kara. She actually does one-on-one ads management for just a few people, not a lot, just a few people, but that funds. She's for the last year been trying some different funnels, and also ones that she really loves. And she's using that extra money she makes from her clients to fund that passive machine that she likes, right? And she tried physical products, loved it, but found it was a lot of work. So then she's now off to a different one that's more in the meditation arena, because she loves that too, to get it off the ground. And it's really exciting for her. So I think there's always a dual path for stuff. I know a lot of people say just focus on it. And even I was probably one of them, and forgive me if I was doing that. I was influenced by the gurus of saying just focus on one thing only. one offer, one offer, one offer only. But the reality is sometimes you need cash flow from over here to fund here, right? Again, it comes back to cash capital, right? When I worked in venture capital, yes, I could go and get $1 million of funding to go finance this company and then you're all good, right? But not everyone has that like fairy godmother to go and get $1 million. And also there's negatives with raising money, y'all. Then they become your bosses as well, which is a pain in the petunias as well. So nothing's more amazing than self-funding this thing or leveraging other people's audiences to self-fund it, right? So yeah, hunt me down across the border, George says. I love that. I have to put that up because that's just funny. Yes. So have I answered all your questions about audience, right? Because the other one's paid traffic. That's a given, right? I feel like specifically to a challenge or a virtual event, there's nothing better than just doing plain old Facebook lead form ads. So it's one way you'll get a less qualified lead from a lead ad, but they'll be cheaper. So you're playing a numbers game there, right? Which still works. Or the standard, which maybe some of you got and watching this right now or got into, or if you're on the replay, where you got shown an ad from me, you clicked it, and it went to an actual landing page where you entered your email and your information, and then you're on our email list, and then you're here, right? So that way still works. It truly does. So paid traffic works. And then third, organic, like working for it, right? Like Sally and I, we just crossed the 1,000 views thing, which is kind of exciting. We started a brand new YouTube channel, not spending much time on it, doing 2 shorts a week. Missed this week, just got family in town, but I'll get to that. But two less than 60-second videos a week, and we actually have crossed 1,000 views on our channel. Actually, we got a phone call application from it as well. So and 0 ad costs. So that's organic. You could use, obviously, I'm not going to teach you what we already teach in some of our other courses, but, or you've heard about it. Obviously you go to groups that allow you to promote, right? Some groups will have promotion Saturday, today's Saturday, put up your lead magnet, get people to come, or you participate and talk to people. Yes, we actually interact and talk to people, provide value in other people's Facebook groups, or even like LinkedIn. I know one of my clients that kind of said, okay, I like Facebook, it's doing okay, but my second platform of choice is going to be LinkedIn. So she started the same videos she's doing on Facebook, she's putting up on LinkedIn, and she actually got a huge speaking engagement for it, over 10 grand, because that person saw her on LinkedIn. Okay. So all things are magical to get traffic, but I would probably say have a major and a minor social platform that you use for that. Okay. So we talked about audience. I want to go over your sales choreography and the which is P, like presentation, and S, scaling. Okay. I want to talk about that a bit, and then we're going to get to questions and answering, because I can see your mind spinning. I can feel it. Can't see it because I can't see your faces, but I can feel it, and I can see it by the questions coming in. Like I love what Raimondo's saying. I'm narrowing down a niche, profitable, easy to access, crazy fun to work with, business owners, sales team, influencers, or professionals. Yes. And that's perfect. That's perfect, Raimondo. And I want to say, because you've been following us for a while and been through some of our challenges, don't wait any longer. Just do it, because you're going to find sometimes as you go through taking the actions and attracting that audience, that then there's an audience within there that you really love serving. Right? Does that make sense? So yeah, because I don't know if I saw your answer, Raimondo, from an email I sent back to you about something about, okay, show me the challenge that you did. Give me your link to the challenge. Let me review it for you, or your virtual event. I don't know if you actually held one yet. And if that was what was holding you back, then you have your answer now, right? You narrowed down your niche now. You're going to go after business owners, sales team, influencers, or professionals, right? Just do it. And maybe over time, then maybe you're just going to decide to go after sales team. That's it. Like, that's what I meant, is that sometimes it's harder for someone. Which one niche would you suggest first? When we say business owners, what specific, that's broad, right? Business owners could be like local mom and pop pizza restaurants in town, florists and stuff. Or do you mean business owners as in entrepreneurs, like solo entrepreneurs, So yeah, I need to more data, and I'll help you. I will stay on the line and I'll answer. But let me get through the last two steps of the MAPS methodology. Remember, M stands for messaging that matters in your brain and your magnetic offer. A stands for audience, right? You got to build up your audience. P stands for presentation, basically your promotion, right? What are you pitching, right? And sales choreography around that. And then S, scaling, right? Scaling is pretty easy because I can just tell you right now, scaling is when you leverage automation, which again is like the eighth wonder of the world when you leverage stuff. And you should, all of you, have some form of micro offer that maybe it's the challenge that you had and you charge $15, $25 to do it live. Then it's a $25 sales page that you're sending traffic to. Karina did a free challenge and then she turned it into a $5 passive offer. Like, here's ads, here's organic traffic going to a $5 sales page for the $5 ecom bootcamp. And then she sends those people into her $3,000 course. So she's making sales every single day. Okay. So when we come back to P, presence over perfection, or POP, as Raimondo called it, stealing that from you, POP. I love it. So let's talk about P, making your presentation. All right. So the key about it, I just want to talk about the sales choreography because I want you to write this down. Certainty of outcome gives you certainty of income. I had one of these for it, but I can't find it right now. I need to actually get them laminated because I really love presenting like this so you can see me eye to eye, then always switching back to sharing a screen. So say it out loud with me. Certainty of outcome creates certainty of income. So your presentation or your pitch, you could even flop at it, but if your magnetic offer, if you are so, coming back to the first step of the MAPS method, if you have absolute certainty of outcome, people are going to feel that, see the confidence in it, and be curious to buy from you. And then when you're ready to make the offer, here's the sales page, or here, book a call for me to talk about it. They're going to take that next micro step with you because I feel that outcome, like how many times, learn from what I'm doing. How many times have I kept saying 100K audience, 100K audience? I am certain that I can create for you, with you, your 100K audience. So you have 100K cash injection, right? And then that gives me certainty of income as well, because some of you are probably very curious to take the next step with me and you're waiting, right? Am I right? Enter one if I'm right or two if I'm wrong, just to demonstrate this principle, okay? I've been preceding sales choreography. Write that down, preceding. I've been preceding you, my audience, with 100K as the outcome. I've been preceding about teasing that, yes, I'm going to make you an offer. So how many of you, yes or no, one for yes, two for no, are waiting for me to tell you how to get it, right? Whether it's a book a call, how to do that, or whether it's to a sales page, one or two. And Sandy says, you definitely have a magical way to get us to implement. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. And again, I think it's because also I've studied so much about the brain science. Like I didn't learn this stuff in my MBA, but I feel I got a PhD in brain science when I took the life coach certification program with Brooks Life Coach School, paid 21 grand for that. And then also when I paid $30,000 for 1 hour with the number one expert in subconscious reprogramming, Marshall Silver. It helped me a lot. Obviously, then I did it. I did the work after. So thank you for that. Sandy says, one, you're always right, Maria, that you're waiting for me to make the offers. Susanna says, one, yes. And I know some of you have emailed me as well, okay, about the offer. That's why we already have 3 people in the program, because I've been teasing and preceding even the last month about it. And people have asked about it. So 3 people are already in and said yes to the 100K audience mastermind. All right. So when it comes to sales choreography, I told you to write down preceding. So you want to precede it. I told you to write down certainty of outcome, because that's what's going to help you. Notice I'm not really giving you steps yet. I'm actually giving you things to do that help you persuasively sell more, right? It's a way to, you're persuasively pre-framing your audience for future interactions. You're persuasively, so I know it's a big sentence, you're persuasively pre-framing your audience for future interactions. Everyone write down, put in the comments here, pre-frame. So this is really important. So I'm teaching you little aspects of sales that is a skill set that'll help you for the rest of your life. It's probably the number one skill set to have, because everything else can follow after that. Like, I'm assuming you already have an amazing offer, or you have integrity to make an amazing offer that's going to help people, right? So like that assumption's already there. Yeah, Sandy says pre-frame. Yeah, just please comment pre-frame, because it's that important. A lot of people don't do that, and they just go right for the jugular and sell, and it doesn't really happen as well. Okay, and pre-framing could be as simple as Frank Kern's known for this, his mysterious stranger video, where like, and on some of his other videos where you don't know it, but he's pre-framing. Like if you watch a video of him maybe in the mountains at a ski resort, and he'll be, thank you George for entering pre-framing, and he'll be talking about, hey, I just flew out my family here. It's a Thursday afternoon. We're sitting here at Colorado Breckenridge Ski Resort. Okay, you think that's just normal for someone to say that on a video, but he's persuasively pre-framing you to buy from him, because his target audience typically, he may have changed it now, was 9 to 5 guys who work in a corporate job 9 to 5. So he's purposely saying Thursday afternoon at 2:00. I think he even says the time. Hey, it's Thursday afternoon, 2:00. I just flew my family in. He's also indicating that he makes enough money with what he does that he flew his family in on a private jet. He mentioned that too. I can't remember whether he said private jet or not. Listen, I've studied a lot of his videos. they're like, it's amazing. Like he is brilliant, persuasively pre-framing people for future interactions, right? So I want you to not get too discombobulated in your mind next time you're going to do a video or something about, oh my God, am I persuasively pre-framing? What did Maria say? But just start thinking about it. Like, what are the first words you want to say out of your mouth in the first like 60 seconds of your video? All right. Okay. So sales choreography, when you're presenting or you're promoting, and typically you're doing it in a challenge or like a masterclass series, or maybe it's a workshop, then we'll get into the first step you should do, which is huge. And you saw me do it yesterday. I'm really showing you behind the scenes stuff. Like this is stuff people would charge for. So I hope you get the seriousness of me wanting you to be successful, regardless or not, whether you join the 100K mastermind. Identity, the identity switch. You may have bought in Russell Brunson's books, The Expert Secrets, and any of his books, but any good marketer, any good presentation will talk, any good webinar, any good like advertisement you even see on whether it be TV or like old school newspaper ads and stuff, full page newspaper ads, is the identity switch of the person who they were before, and then after using your thing, or it's called the mechanism in marketing Russell Brunson terms, and then the after, where are they now? So I talked about Marshall Silver, right? The identity switch. Like I was, scared, kind of shamed about losing all my money in the 2008-2009 recession. And, I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to work to make a 100K launch. Like I was seeing other people bragging about doing even $1 million launches, right? That was the time of Evan Pagan and all these people doing like $1 million launches, Frank Kern doing $1 million launch. It's like, oh, I can't even do a 100K launch. God damn it. Wonder what's going on. What's wrong with me? And so like, oh, this is why I paid $30,000 to the number one expert in subconscious reprogramming, because I knew something was missing. I had all the right strategy. I had an audience, right? So then with him, it was like, oh my God, it's the thoughts going around in your brain, Maria. You're not worthy. That's how you're feeling. You're not worthy. You need to work on that subconscious reprogramming. So that's why, and the mechanism or the methodology in MAPS, the first step is messaging that matters in your brain. Okay. So I showed you the before Maria, and then the after Maria, after kind of going through that and then reprogramming what's going on in my brain. Boom, within 3 months, got my 100K launch. So did you see how I did that identity shift? Other people do it. Some people have a rags to riches story. Oh, before I knew this. Now you can see some sleazy ClickBank videos. We'll talk about it. That's just scripted. Hollywood script writers write it. That's probably fake. But with integrity. Most people who you follow hopefully are for real, but they will talk about in true reality the identity switch, right? I could have also, and there's might be a few that you could use. I could have used the story about just using challenges, how, seeing how Robert Allen used the full page article in the newspaper, how I can just take me to any city in America to the unemployment line. I can pick out like 5 people and show them how to make $1 million with real estate. I don't know if anyone remembers that ad, but that is a huge identity switch of someone who's broke, unemployed, in an unemployment line. Robert Allen comes in, uses his real estate methodology of how to, flip homes and stuff, teaches it to the person, and they make $1 million. So there's the identity switch there in just a written form ad. Are you with me here? Are you seeing like the golden nuggets, how important this is? And probably a lot of you are missing that from your presentations. Am I right? Am I right? Say missing if you feel you've been missing that. And by the way, you're not going to get it in 5 minutes. Okay. Like seriously, like Raimondo, I know a little bit what you want to teach. I believe it's still about presenting, right? And is it video, if I recall, showing up on video, really powerful and stuff, and just like being different, being unique, grabbing the unique DNA that's inside of an individual person to show out on video. Like, so there, you would try to figure out, okay, what's the before and what's the after, right? How can you help them? Right. Yeah. And I see some people are saying missing. And the reason, and Sandy, thanks, there's such golden nuggets that I missed. Yeah. So I really want you to pay attention to these identity switches, because it's huge. And if you miss that, then all is not lost. Okay. I want you to think about, okay, what would I teach? What did happen to me? And it doesn't have to be you. Maybe it's your student, right? Like you hear me talk about for the identity switch for scaling, which I want to talk about so that I finish this in the hour, then answer any more of your questions, because I got 3 minutes left. Hone in on the last part, scaling. The eighth one of the world is leverage automation. Well, the identity switch here is that after Krita started making money, like hopefully you saw her video where she's making $60,000. She made $60,000 after switching the messaging in her mind. Then she had another problem. We always have a problem after you have success, right? What's that next problem she had? She's like, Maria, I don't want to do these challenges live all the time. Like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do these masterclasses live all the time. Like, I don't want to do these workshops live all the time. It's exhausting. And in her case, it was a real family situation. Her husband had a very serious heart attack, unexpected, because he's in his 40s, healthy. Boom, almost died. They had to helicopter him to the hospital and everything. And then so we talked. I said, okay, well, let's package up your challenge and charge $5 for it. It's already done. Your assets are already there. The recordings are there. Let's package it up. Take the exact same. Are you ready for this? The exact same landing page that people entered their email for to get it for free when it was live. We're just going to put a little buy now button for $5. We didn't change anything, y'all. There was no magical pay $5,000 to a sales copywriter to write it. No. Why? Because she also had testimonials. Because after you do it live, look at all of you saying these fabulous comments to me and stuff. And I'll probably send out something to you via email to say, hey, can you let me know a little bit more about what you thought of this 2-day masterclass series? So all we did is we slapped up Facebook comments on that page as well of people that were in that challenge and how much they loved it or what progress they got. And now she's converting at over 10%. So for every 100 people that go to that page, 10 people buy it, right? That's for $5. But more importantly, then they send it to her $3,000 course. And she has some like a $47 branding course as well that a lot of people buy too. But basically it's profitable and it's almost passive. I say almost passive because I don't believe there's any such thing as true passiveness, but it's almost passive. So that was her identity switch that, okay, I was exhausted from going live all the time. I needed to spend more time with family. Oh my God, how do I keep my business going? I don't want to shut it down though, because she was seriously thinking of just stopping everything for like 3 months. I said, no, let's just convert it. Boom, done. And by the way, you get that exact same funnel we're going to provide to you in the 100K audience mastermind. Exactly it. Because I built it. I can share it with you as well, right? It's my intellectual property that you can have as well. Pretty cool, right? So on that note, I want to answer your questions, but before I forget, if you are serious and if you haven't already booked a call with me or gotten more information about what the heck is in the 100K mastermind, Maria's not doing a stack, and I'm not going to give you a stack. And a stack, what I mean is I would typically go to a presentation right now and show you everything that you get in the 100K audience mastermind. You're like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, and it's worth like $100,000. Oh, and you can get it today for only blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to do that because I want, because this is different. This is like a joint venture kind of scenario. And we're only letting 10 people in. And so what I want you to do is, if you're really interested in it, just type in the word interested. Simple as that. Type in the word interested, and then me or Sally will send you a Google Doc that kind of describes a little bit more of what's in the 100K audience program. I'm just being real and authentic with you on this. I want to make sure that you also feel this is the right thing. I want you to feel it in your heart. I also want to feel in your mind when you actually read the Google Doc. And if that's something of interest, thank you for saying interested. Yeah, you guys are so amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much. Um, then you just book a call with me. Totally free to book the call, and then we chat about it. Okay. So there's some questions. I think 3 or 4 questions I ask when I ask you to book a call with me, and just answer those. I'm pretty sure all of you will say yes to them, and I just love all your comments here. And then you'll jump on a call with me as well. Okay, so it's gonna be fun. All right, and I have a little timeline for it, but I think it's in the Google Doc, the timeline of what we want to do, that I'll do with you. But again, just read the Google Doc for the details. I'm not going to explain it all now because I want to keep this energy. I'm feeling really great right now. I want to keep this energy going, even if it's just 1 minute that I say to someone that has a question that I can help you with. Let me answer that, because at the end of the day, I'm just looking over here to make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover. I did. So now, any other questions to help you with your offers? Sandy says, looking forward to having a call with you. Yay, I'm too. Because I know, like, a lot of you have been following me like forever. Like, Sandy, has it been like over 12 years or more? Like, I don't know what the first course you ever bought from me, but I'm honored that you're all with me. And Susanna, you too. I know you've been with me for a long time as well. Patty, I don't know when you first found me. If you guys want to, I'm just curious. Just enter below when you first entered my world. If you forget if it was that long ago, if it was 2009 or something, that's okay. But maybe if you remember the first product or interaction. I know for Lizzie, maybe Liz, you're not on right now. Maybe you're for your kids enjoying the fall weather. But if you're watching the replay, I know she would say it was the Black Friday challenge and that was a free offer. Sandy says at least 5 years. So yeah. Okay. So what other questions? Did I answer any questions specific about your offer? Raimondo, I want to come back to you. Raimondo, are you still on? Just type in 1 if you're still on. Because Raimondo was saying, well, but what niche? And thank you. Patty says, I didn't know that it was the Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we got the turkey gravy already going as well, and got the parsnips and carrots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, it's gonna be good. See, and look at that. Patty says, I have a few coaches who are interested in bulk holiday orders of my journal planners. I see this as an additional stream of income while I'm building out my product for intuitive empowerment. Huge. Yeah. So Patty, I think for you, you've got your momentum now since that. And by the way, the power of doing some calls with me, like, oh my God, like Sandy, Patty, like that first call was like a momentum turnaround call for you, wasn't it? Like, that's so cool. So, Raimonda says, when you're still here. Okay. So Raimonda, and Sandy's having turkey dinner tomorrow with the fam too. Yeah. So good. Raimondo and George says, you've been following me somewhere around 2012. So good. Yay. So Raimondo, so if any of you have questions, ask it. Otherwise, we're going to end this soon. I'm just going to answer that one question I don't feel I fully answered for Raimondo. It was about what niche. So first, Raimondo, you said, I'm narrowing down a niche, profitable, easy to access, crazy fun to work with, business owners, sales team, influencers, or professionals. So then you go, which one niche should I suggest first? Would I suggest first? Okay, so I feel that, what do you mean by, business owner? What do you mean by a sales team? Or do you mean like maybe a salesperson, like to get better at sales? Influencers are, so what is your offer? I know you kind of been thinking about your offer. Was I right in remembering what your offer was about how to get people to perform on video that helps increase their profits? You could even say something like performance creates profits program. I'll just wait for you to type in your offer, Raimondo, so I can help you a little bit. But my first gut feel is just you could go for out. My gut feel is probably sales team and influencers, because I don't know what you mean by business owners. I have people who struggle to stand out and shine on camera. Yeah. So some influencers might not necessarily be shy on camera because they might have already a huge following. So in that case, honestly, you could even just go after realtors as an example. So many realtors out there need to make money, and the way to make money is get on social media and be on camera. And a lot of them are probably scared. I remember one of my first clients, I charged $5,000 to build an SEO website for, 15 years ago or more, was a real estate agent. But good God, trying to get her to be on video, as I had to record a few videos with her and a teacher, that was huge. And that's a skill set. And then you could go broader from there. You could go after just regular entrepreneurs as well. So yeah, rock the virtual stage or live. So yeah, I love that, rock the virtual stage, because we all need that's different as well. So yeah, that's how I would say that. Just go after. You could do a test to a certain type of professional, like is it a realtor, for instance? Is there any professionals that this is the other question for you? Any professionals that you already, I call it your zone of influence. Are there's are there people right now in your zone of influence, like 10 people that you could name, on your hand, like list them off, Joe, Sally, list all these people. And have you helped anyone already to get better on camera or rock their virtual promotion? And if they and so that could be the people you go after, right? Like who do you want or like to work with most? That also has money in your bread and butter audience, right? Like, so for instance, I love the Alchemias and Corinnes of the world and Karinas of the world. They're female experts. And also Jared and my nephew I helped as well. They're just people who are go-getters that just have an expertise and just want to help people and coach people. And so I sort of already know who I like to help, but I had to go through variations. I decided I do not like to work with local business owners anymore. And part of that's also because they're too they know nothing about marketing online. So I didn't really have the patience to spend so much time with them. And second, they freak sometimes at even just $500 a month. So it really wasn't my bread and butter audience, right? Does that make sense? Um, so yeah. Hey, live beyond inspired. Hello. We're just finishing off right now. You have to watch the replay, but so thank you for coming. So yeah, Ramonda, did that help you? Client attraction through performance and play. Yeah. I mean, it's huge. That's really well needed. Well needed. Is that a right word? That's really needed out there in the marketplace. So you just start with a few, look, our micro offer magic, the headline originally said attention, course creators, coaches, bloggers, and I think I had a fourth one in there, and struck really well, did super well, right? So yeah, you just need to think about who in your zone of influence do you have that have you helped already with this, and maybe that's your person, or then you just go, okay, screw it, I'm just going to go after realtors, or screw it, I'm just going to go after influencers, and just pick one. So really, my answer, it's really not using a lot of intellectual capacity and whatever. It's just I would put a timer on for like a minute. You maybe write down them and just close your eyes, put your finger down and go for it. Because you know what? You can always change because it's so your offer is broad, right? Let's face it, your offer will help anybody, right? But you can always change it. They have message. Let's see, what did you say? Share about struggle. Yeah, people who have a message to share but struggle to express who they truly are. Presentations are bland and boring. Yeah. Yeah. So just let me know in the comments, and otherwise we'll kind of say it's an end to this one. If there's anyone else that has any questions, just let me know in the comments if you have any other questions, and we'll do a countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, and go with that. So 10, 9. I'll wait for your questions. If nothing comes in, we're going to end this. And I just want to say thank you so much. And if you're interested to find out more about the 100K Mastermind, just type in the word interested. And before the end of the day today, I'll get over to you the Google Doc that has all the information for you. Sally, I'll probably make a rebrandly link to it. So marialikes.com/something so that they can get that, because otherwise it's a long Google Doc link. And well, of course, we'll say it in the email as well. Awesome. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you. Totally interested. Yeah, you bet. Yep. We'll follow up with everyone who's commented interested. We'll follow up with you. And trust me, you're probably going to see something in an email as well that kind of teases you about the 100K audience mastermind. And you bet. Thank you, George, so much. And thank all of you for showing up. Like on a Saturday, showing up live. Huge. You are amazing. Remember that. You're DNA coded for greatness. Love and light to you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.